Good morning everyone, and welcome to our third Why Do Catholics question. In this video we're going to be answering two questions relating to the sign of the cross. The first is from Jack, who asks, why is it we make the sign of the cross at the beginning and end of prayers? And the second question is from Daisy, who asks why we make it after consuming communion. I think a really good starting point for this is to address what the sign of the cross represents. St. Francis de Sales explains this really well when he was defending the practice during the 16th century. He explained, we first lift our hand towards our head while saying, in the name of the Father, in order to show that the Father is the first person of the Blessed Trinity, and the principle and origin of the other two. Then we move our hand down towards our stomach while saying, and of the Son, in order to show that the Son proceeds from the Father, who sent him to earth into the Virgin's womb. Finally, we pull our hand across from the left shoulder to the right while saying, and of the Holy Spirit, in order to show that the Holy Spirit, being the third person of the Blessed Trinity, proceeds from the Father and through the Son. The Holy Spirit is the bond of love and charity between the first two, and it is by His grace that we enjoy the effects of the Passion, the sacrifice of Jesus. When making the sign of the cross, therefore, we confess three great mysteries. First, the Trinity is God. Secondly, the sacrifice of Jesus brought us life, that's the Passion. And tied with this, the third is that we have the remission of sins, the forgiveness of sins. This is represented when we move our hand from our left to the right, as the left hand was traditionally the ancient Hebrew hand of cursing, and the right was the hand of blessing. So, as the sign of the cross represented God and represented his relationship with us, from the time of the early church, we have tons of accounts of Christians like Tertullian explaining that the sign of the cross was used everywhere to offer to God wherever the cross was drawn over. This included people, food, and items that would be used in sacraments, such as bread, wine, or oil. While it's important to note that these practices had many variations due to local customs, it was always for that fundamental reason of placing the person or item into God's care. With this in mind, when we begin and end prayer with the sign of the cross, it is to ask God special attention for what we're praying for. This is similar to when we have just consumed the Eucharist. We are asking God to transform us through communion with Him. Lastly, the sign of the cross also serves as a practical function. As we are not just spiritual beings but have a physical dimension, performing the sign of the cross helps ground our physical self in the prayer and focuses on the task at hand. I hope this answers your questions. If anyone has any further Why Do Catholic questions, or frankly any questions about Catholicism whatsoever, please feel free to comment them below or email me if you're part of my school or parish and that's easier for you. Hope you all have a lovely day and God bless.